What's up guys, Ender Unknown here. I am back for episode 6 of the Spelunky-Style game series, and today we are going to be working on world generation, what would you call it, continuous world generation, so like a level system I guess would be the easiest way to phrase that, and also getting our player to spawn in at our entrances and exits. So yeah, right now if we press play, our player just spawns in wherever we have them on the world, when really we want them spawning at the store. And then by the end of today's video, we will be able to traverse our map, go to this exit door, leave through this, and it'll generate another level. And yeah, we will be able to count the levels, so maybe if we wanted to add a different environment type, we could do so. Anyways, let's get started. So the first thing that we are going to want to do is zero out our player, which just is as simple as clicking on them and making all the values of the position 0. Then we are going to want to save them as a prefab by just dragging them into the folder down here. Then we can actually delete them out of our scene. And yeah, so basically what we need to do is go find our entrance room. And I don't remember, I don't think we have a... Oh, we do have an entrance door. Okay. That is a nice prefab. Yeah, so what we're going to want to do here is edit this prefab. And so our player, the game object, is just going to be our player prefab, and the spawn position will be the spawn point here. Now, we're going to have to, work on making the spawn point really nice. So I'm going to try, I don't know about there. And yeah, so that is the point where the player will be spawned in. I guess that makes sense. And that should be all that we need to do here. So we're going to just save that. Now I'm going to have to go check, because I'm not sure if Unity automatically does this. I have to see if in this prefab the yeah, there we go. So I just said, so you will have to go press the revert button there in this, because it needs to sync up with the other entrance door, or the entrance door, the normal prefab. Anyways, that should be all that we need to do on this side of things. We do have to go edit some of the code, so I'll be right back when I go into Visual Studio. Oh, we're gonna need to open the uh, generation script. Okay, now that we're in Visual Studio, if you recall, in our generation, uh, in our generation class file here, we have ready a boolean for if the player is ready. For right now, we are going to add more generation that happens before the player is spawned in, but for right now we're just gonna put that right after first stage is done. So ready for players equal to true. And believe it or not, that is all we have to do for coding for this part. We'll have to do a little more later, figuring out the whole levels and world system, but um, yeah, that's pretty easy. Anyways, we are going to continue, so I'll be back when I'm in Unity. Okay, that should be all that we need to do, so if we press play, we're going to get camera display not rendering, and we will spawn in right at our door. So that works quite nicely. And I think our spawn point is a smidge too high. So I guess for me, I'm okay with that because this is a tutorial video. All you'd have to do is go move the point down and make sure to update all of your whatchamacallits, the prefabs that use the entrance door. So yeah, that is pretty simple. I'm going to be right back and we will start working on our exit. Okay, now that we are on to working on our exit, the first thing we're going to have to do is go up to these layers, add a layer, and we are going to need to add door, or I guess we could call it exit door to make more sense. And we're going to make sure that our door, or exit door, is on the layer exit door. And yeah, so we're also going to need to go into our room prefabs, our exit, and we're going to have to open this prefab here, go find our exit door, and okay, I see it does it did automatically update for the layer. That's good. And yeah, so that is pretty much all that we have to do for the actual door itself. What we are going to have to do is go edit the our player controller scripts. There we go. Uh, yeah, I believe player controller, player motor. Well, I guess I'll open them and we'll see. Okay, now that we are in Visual Studio under the player motor class, we are going to start by adding a layer mask called exit door mask. And then we're going to just move down into our update player method, and somewhere, probably on the bottom, we're going to check if we have an input get key down, and that'll be key code, I don't know, S for, as in, the key will make crouch. I don't remember if we have crouch physics. I don't think we did crouching yet. We definitely didn't have a crouch animation. I don't know if we're going to do crouching. We might. But yeah, anyways, if they press the, I guess the down key to say, then we'll go through the door. So to do this, we're just going to get a collider, and we're going to call this door check. It's going to equal a physics 2D overlap circle and transformed position, the radius of 0.1, and also our layer mask of door, exit door mask, whatever we called it. So then if our door check doesn't equal null, as in it found a door, then we're going to get the door checks component of our exit door, and we're going to have it activate the next level. So I do believe we need to, I can't, see, I've been working on quick side tangent, I've been working on so many coding projects that I can't remember what I have done and what I haven't done with this one. So I'm pretty sure our door has a collider on it, but I'm going to go check because we have to add a collider if it doesn't have a collider. I'm pretty sure we did, but I'll be right back. Okay, yes, the door did have a collider on it, so we should be able to press play and go find our exit door and exit by pressing the key S. Or by exit, I mean... Oh yeah, we forgot to define the layer mask, and by we, I mean I did. Prefabs, player, motor script, exit door. Okay, silly me. I was like, oh dear, it didn't work. Let's try that again. So quickly hurry along down here, and we should be able to do that. And I know it didn't look like much, but we are now indeed on the top floor again. So of course we will have to add some in-between screen or something, but for now this is definitely okay, and we can't do anything with this door. Can't go backwards, unfortunately. But yes, that does work. Now, what this doesn't do is tally our level or keep any progress about our player. So that's what we're going to go work on now. Is we're going to update we're going to have the generator update a static class file or whatever that will store information about our current progress. And eventually that file will be we'll probably make some sort of save data with it. So I'm going to go go get that figured out here. So yeah, we are going to need to start by making a new script here. I'm going to call it player data, and we're going to open that up in Visual Studio, and I will be right back. Okay, now that we have player data open, we are going to actually delete all of this, and we're going to make this a static class, as in unchanging and can be referenced. It's not object-oriented. We are going to only be storing a few things in here for the time being. We're going to have the level number. That's going to be defaulted to 1. And we are also going to have the player's game object reference. Now, because of this, we also have to edit our entrance door script. And this will be pretty simple. Actually, I want to set that equal to null for right now. So our entrance door is going to have where we instantiate the player. So we have to actually add in a inline Boolean statement. So player data dot not level player is equal to null. If that is true, then we are going to insert the player prefab. If that is false, we're going to insert the player data player. So this will allow our player to have persistent data between levels, so you won't restart. You don't get full health or anything. Or your money value doesn't go down, or treasure, however you want to say that. And anyways, yeah. So that should work. Also, we're going to need in our exit door, and actually also generation. So I'm opening a whole bunch of these in the side menu that you probably can't see. So yeah, in generation, we're going to make a new function or method, and this is going to be a public void called next level. And basically what this is going to do is it's going to increment our player data level counter. So we're just going to add 1 to that. And it is also going to do I don't have it open. We're also going to need player motor. Yeah, so I really shouldn't have closed these. So when we do our door check next level, we're also going to want to add in generation dot. Oh, and I bet this needs to be static. We're going to also want a instance or a game object called player here. This is going to be static void, and now we can call it. So generation come on, friend, generation. There we go. What do I call it? Next level. There we go. Next level, the player is going to be game object, because I believe our player is attached to the proper game object for this to work. And in generation, then the other thing we're going to have to do is set our player data dot player is equal to this player here, like that. So pretty much that is all we need to do here. In our exit door, we don't. I thought we were gonna have to call it, but we actually called this next level function in our player because we needed a reference to the player's game object. So that should be it. I say that like a bit unsurely. So yeah, this should. I have no way to prove the persistence of the player, but that's okay because we don't have any values that are displayed on the screen. And I guess we'll maybe do that for a different day. This video is getting a bit long. Really, I'm just trying to get it to work that we are able to visit different levels or continue on. I want to work on treasure and enemies these next week or two, depending, and making the world more interactive. So, anyways, back into Unity, I will go and I guess continue there. Okay, one last quick thing here. This is kind of a silly oversight. Is generation next level has to go before we activate the doors next level. So yeah, I actually did find a way that I can prove persistent players, and I will show you that here in just a second. Okay, turns out you can't make game objects static. So yeah, any variable that we're going to need to save to our player's information, such as health, which we currently don't have implemented, will need to be its own variable, and I guess I'll address that then. So stuff like this is always going to be a new player, but what we'll do is we'll change their health down here. And also player motor, oh, that was just me figuring out what was broken. Generation, next level. We won't need a player reference. Okay, yeah, so that was my bad. Aside from that, everything does indeed work. You can test it out. There's, like I said, I can't show you the inheritance because it doesn't work anymore because it never did work. So I guess any of those variables we'll find a way to save in a different sense and load them when the world starts, but right now we don't have to do that. So right now the only static variable that we need is our player data level. And then, yeah, so we should be able to, oh, and I have to put ready for, I don't know, something's wrong with my Visual Studio right now. That also needs to be false. So yeah, then I think that's pretty much all we're going to do for today. Yes, maybe, no. Let me go back into Unity and see what else that we could do to add to this, if anything. Okay, now that I am back in Unity, I think I'm going to end the episode for this week here. I know there's this ugly camera display not rendering or whatever, no cameras rendering thing. We're gonna fix that when we do menus and loading screens at a later point. So I think for the sake of time and for this video, that is where I'm going to end it. So what we did is we set up the basis for persistent variables between our levels, and we also made it so that when you get to the end of a maze, you can go through the door. I would like to add an animation or something to this at a later point, but I'm striving to go for mainly functionality right now at this point, because that is what I'm good at. I'm not so good at the artsy animation stuff, as you can see with my character. I mean, they do the splits to jump. So, yeah, I guess, yeah, so we will go over it, I'm sure, later on, after I get all the functionality in. We'll just have a couple episodes dedicated to making everything look nice, and then that'll probably be where we wrap up the series. I don't really know what my plans are. We have at least another 5 episodes, I'm pretty sure, for content-wise, maybe 4. So I think next week we'll do probably, this is tentative. I'm sure I'll end up changing it, so I don't even know why I'm bothering sharing it. We'll probably do treasure generation, enemy generation, items, and these will come in any particular order. Uh, we'll finish up player. So like health, menu, so not menu as in graphics, but menu as in like, hey, we'll have our 3 hearts or however many. Uh, Maybe I'll do night shields. I don't know. We'll have our 3 units of health, or however we want to mark that. We'll have the level of currency, I guess. Then I'd like to do one more for world generation, as in filling in these little things. Of course, you guys can make it nicer, but I'd like to make a shop or something. And then maybe probably one for different worlds or environment types. Kind of like in Spelunky, how there's the jungle, there's the caves, there's the ice area, etc. And then wrapping it up with graphics probably. So I don't know, another within 10 probably. I don't know. I don't plan on making this series ridiculously long, but I guess we'll see. If it's going good, it'll go that or if it so if the series goes well, or as in uh there's stuff to keep working on, then I don't see why we'd end it. I don't know. That's just me talking out loud, so you probably have all left. Kudos to those of you who stayed. Anyways, that is all I have for you guys this week, so thank you guys for watching, and Ender out.